everybody, and welcome for a special Mother's Day video. As someone who is a mother and has an incredible mother, I find Mother's Day to be super special, and I know a lot of people just consider it to be like a Hallmark holiday or whatever, but anything that puts a spotlight on mom and lets us, go out of our way to tell mom that she's special and we appreciate her, I definitely am all about that. So this morning, while I was laying in bed waiting for my kids to bring me breakfast and pretending to be asleep, I was scrolling through Discord, and I am a member of Andrew's Wizardly Reads Discord server, and that's a super fun server because they're very interactive there, and one of the things they do to start good conversation every day is they post a question that's just a prompt for conversation, and today's question was about favorite moms in fantasy. And so I laid there and I was just thinking about all the mothers in fantasy that I am like totally digging, or I'm like, oh, what a horrible mom. And so it just made me like make this long list, and I couldn't hardly just like type it all up to respond to his question. So I gave a quick response, the first thing that came to my mind, but then I was like, I think I'm gonna have to make a video about this because I have so many moms in fantasy that I want to talk about. So women in fantasy in general are kind of interesting, and this list was a little bit harder to make than I thought it was going to be. Like at first I thought, oh my gosh, I can think of like 25 answers to that question. But then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, actually, moms in fantasy are usually dead or evil. So I wanted to think of moms that I'm like inspired by. So I came up with a list that I'm pretty excited about, and I hope that you guys will enjoy it too. As far as spoilers go, I'm going to try to make this pretty spoiler free because in general that's how I like to be, but there may be some very slight spoilers given away by like just context of the story. So continue watching at your own discretion, but I will give an alert to who I'm talking about and what series that they are from before I kind of go into it. But this is going to be short, simple, sweet, and I'm not even going to do this like ranked or anything. These are just moms that came to my mind and made me be like, oh yeah, those are my girls. The very first mother figure that came to mind this morning for me was Lady Patience from the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. She may very well appear in later books throughout the realm of the Elderlings. I don't know. I haven't read that far into all of Robin Hobb's works in that world. But so far, I have read the Farseer trilogy, and she is an important character in all three of those books. So if you haven't read them, just real quickly, the main character, Fitz, is a bastard, a royal bastard. And he is brought to live in, the kingdom where he's from, but his sire has passed away. And so it leaves kind of an awkward relationship between Lady Patience, his father, Chivalry's wife, who did not know he existed, and him, who's just kind of like, I think you're my stepmom, but I'm not sure you're supposed to like me. And so they start out with a strained relationship, but it turns into something absolutely beautiful. And I love that character, and I just definitely wanted to give a shout out to all the stepmoms out there. My next pick is also somewhat non-traditional. I am going to go with Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons. And this is a shout out to people who are unable to have children, who may have experienced loss, and people who maybe just choose not to have children and don't go down the route of traditional motherhood, and they embrace the life of being a dog mom. So clearly Daenerys Targaryen, not a dog mom, but she is the mother of dragons. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to people who have the heart of a mother, but may not have human children on earth, okay? You know what? It's not the same. Being a dog mom and being a human mom, it's not quite the same. But I am here to tell you right now that you loving your animals and having a mothering soul still to give love and to receive love, it's absolutely valid and it counts. So to all the dog moms and the pet moms out there today, to the mother of dragons herself, also happy Mother's Day. My next set of mothers comes from the Bloodsworn Saga by John Gwynne. I'm going with both Orca and Uspa from both Shadow of the Gods and Hunger of the Gods. Guys, these are examples of moms who would literally burn the earth down to make sure that their children are safe and with them. So we have a battle-famed warrior, a total badass, and a Seor Witch. And in this story, you know, from the very beginning, I don't think this is a big spoiler, from the very beginning, children are being taken from their families and stolen, and it's a huge mystery, but no one really knows why or where they're going or who's taking them. And most of the families that these children are taken from are either completely killed, or the mothers are just left like, you know, just what are we gonna do? And they're all these moms are just out of their mind, would do anything to get their kids back. But these two moms, they have, you know, they have the ability to take matters into their own hands, and they absolutely do. I'm talking kill everyone breathing in between you and getting your child back. Resurrect a dead god to get your kid back. Like, if you guys want a ruthless, brutal, vicious revenge, I will get my kid back and make you, you know, wish you were never born kind of story, oh, you're gonna love the Bloodsworn Saga. But those two moms absolutely kick ass. You guys may have already noticed her, but I got a new dog and she's very, very attached to me. So she's probably gonna be in all my videos from now on out. You can see her right behind me and you'll probably hear the click clack of her claws. I'm not gonna apologize because I can't do anything about it, and she's pretty cute. So there she is. That is Miss Rosie Cotton. All right, next up is Charity Carpenter from the Dresden Files. You guys, she is just like the ultimate mom. Like, every time I read a Dresden book that features Charity Carpenter or even just has her on the page, I'm just blown away. She is the mother to all. Like, she's so hospitable. She can mend your chainmail. She knows how to make a sandwich. Of course she knows how to make a sandwich, but guys, she always has cold cuts in her fridge. She's ready. She's hospitable. She always has a bed for you to sleep on. But guys, she's uncompromising in her standards and her values, and she will kick your ass if you if any of her kids or her husband, their well-being or their safety is threatened by something you or Harry Dresden bring into her life, she's not going to be happy, and she will tell you about it. Like, she is so fierce, and that woman to me is just like the epitome of what like a cool mom is. The next mom from my list is also from A Song of Ice and Fire, and is one of my favorite characters ever written, and it's Cersei Lannister. You guys, no one can question her love for her children. It is astounding. I mean, her methods are definitely questionable, but nobody can even begin to question her loyalty and her fierce, fierce love for her children. This is one of my favorite quotes. "The more people you love, the weaker you are. You'll do things for them you know you shouldn't do. You'll act a fool to make them happy, to keep them safe. Love no one but your children. On that front, a mother has no choice." George R.R. Martin writes incredible female characters, in my opinion, and he writes really great mothers. If you look throughout this series, there are a lot of really well-written mothers in the context, and they're also different. I mean, I could talk about Catelyn as well, but Catelyn isn't a character that I admire or really look up to, and that's so debatable, and it's kind of a hot topic, but Cersei does it for me so much more than a Catelyn Stark. And it's probably just because like I'm Lannister for life, and I just absolutely love the way that family was written, and the fierceness of their loyalty is just pretty impressive to me. So she is a villain, in my opinion, and should I look up to her and admire her? Probably not, but she definitely has attributes that I think any mother would be proud to own up to. I'm not going to begin to act like Cersei is misunderstood. She's absolutely a villain, and she's power hungry, and she has motivations that are far beyond just being a loving mother. But I still look at her and go, she has attributes that I think we can learn from, because in the end, family is everything. And even beyond family, like your children, guys, that's everything, and you can't dispute that. So I really do admire Cersei Lannister in a lot of ways. The last mom on my little list today is Molly Weasley. In my opinion, she is just the epitome of maternal love. She had 7 kids of her own, and then she essentially adopted Harry, knowing all the risk that came with being closely associated with him. And in my opinion, she has so much integrity and stands up for what she believes. And the life that her and Arthur created together just sets such an amazing example for her kids of what a marriage should look like, what a family should look like, what loyalty looks like. She was very proud of their heritage and made sure that was ingrained in their children, that they appreciated where they came from, also, you know, their Gryffindor roots and all of that. I just really admire their family dynamic, and Molly was the backbone of that family. Also, she will 100% kick your ass if she gets crossed, you know, if especially, I mean, what did she say? Not my daughter, you bitch, okay? Like, she will kick your ass if you mess with her kids. And I think that's just like the coolest attribute a mom can have, because there's so much talk about dads looking out for their daughters and, you know, well, my dad can kick your dad's ass. Well, guess what? My mom will kick your mom's ass. I'm going to kick your dad's ass. And that's Molly Weasley. She's stern. She's patient. She is forgiving. She has rules, but she also understands wiggle room, and she has a sense of humor. So in my opinion, Molly Weasley is just basically the perfect fantasy mom. So I know I'm forgetting moms. I know I'm leaving great ones off the list. Like I said, this is just some things that kind of came to my head while I was in bed this morning, just kind of reveling in all the gratitude I have for my kids and for my own mom. And these fictional characters that we've come to love, like, there are a lot of lessons to learn there, even from the villains sometimes. But there are so many good moms that these authors have given to us on the page. And I love looking back and thinking, like, what does this tell us about the authors we love and how they view women and moms in general? Like John Gwynne, like, that's so evident to me that he has so much respect for mothers, the Family Institute, and just women in general by the way he writes and conveys women on the page. And the same could be said with all of these women and the authors that invented them. Sometimes people will write a woman on page or a mom and just be like, I don't know if you've ever left your house. I don't know if you've ever met anyone other than yourself. But these are all moms that I have felt like really taught me something and just felt inspired by real people that have been impactful to the authors. So keep the list going. Tell me all about it in the comments. Who are some moms that you absolutely love on page, have felt inspired by, maybe learned a good mothering lesson, a parenting lesson from, and also who are the worst? That's a whole nother list, but who are the worst moms in fantasy? So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a really awesome Mother's Day.